So most people are of the opinion that a CRM is best used only when it is a business to business company and when they want to track sales, and that's really what the opinion is in the market. Would you agree with that, or do you have a different point of view on that one?
No, like I just said, by the way, we are a B2B sales CRM company. We focus on that because we just think that's what we do best. And if we make it both for B2B and B2C, it starts muddying the interface. It just makes it less easy to use because we need to allow all kinds of different relationships in the software, and it just makes it more complex. But I don't think that B2C companies have no need for a CRM. Just the opposite. I actually think that in B2C companies, you often have way more customer relationships. You might not be able to find the same depth because you don't have the same depth of relationship. You don't talk to all of them and stuff.
No, that's fair.
But you still need to keep track of the relationship.
Yeah, exactly. So that was my question. So I mean, but it is important from, let's say that you're starting up a small e-commerce venture, right? And eventually, don't you think that a CRM would benefit someone like that as well?
Yeah, definitely. And then you need a whole other type of CRM than if you're in B2B sales. So don't just type best CRM into Google or something. Actually go look for something that is built for e-commerce. And that applies also if you're looking for a CRM to power your sales. Look for a B2B sales CRM or something. But there's a lot of CRMs out there, all built for a specific purpose, and there's a lot of good e-commerce CRMs out there. And
point of having this conversation really is to educate marketers in India as to what, how is it that you would look at a CRM in the first place. I mean, it's not a new concept, but as you would know, I mean, no one would know better than you. The market is so cluttered right now that literally the first 10 searches on Google on when you try to search for what's the best CRM to use, you would have 10 different results coming up, right? So
yeah.
So it's obviously to each it's his own sort of comfort level with the software, the type of customization that goes into sort of using the sales funnel, etc. But I think that second answer was really important.
Well, actually, we're obviously a CRM company, but we use the CRM from the moment when we started having our first chats. You're going to do customer interviews, and you want to understand what these people want, and whether you already scheduled a talk with them or not, and whether they were actually interested to then hear more after the chat. From then on, you already need a CRM because those are valuable relationships that you're building up at that point. You might not even be selling yet.
Absolutely.
But you're building towards sales.
The technology landscape is sort of evolving by the second. It's not even like by the day, right? And obviously, do you think that it's become easier for brands and companies to reach out to the right set of audiences, or is there too much clutter in the market right now? And personally, you as a marketer, I mean, if you wear the hat of a marketer, what is it that you would do to reach out to the right set of people?
So if you want to break through the clutter, that's exactly what I would do. I would reach out to the right set of people. The main issue right now is there's a bit too much spray and pray going on, where people just mass email or mass show ads to everyone. While it's extremely important to be very specific about who you want to reach, and then get even more specific than that, because that's the best way to make your marketing or sales or whatever pay off. And there's definitely more and more possibilities to do that in a better way. Obviously, if you do some sort of ads or so, the targeting possibilities are getting better and better. But also, if you're doing B2B sales, you can buy quite specific lists of leads nowadays. There's lots of services out there where you can drill down really deeply, get the exact right people that look like customers you already have or the exact people you want to target, and then target those. And don't target everyone, because that's only going to blow up in your face. You're going to spend a lot of money, and in the case, for instance, of emailing, you might get blocked for spam because these people are not interested, right? So they're going to be like, what is this? And it will have a negative effect on you in the long run.
So What would you say the top 3 platforms today that any marketer should be well acquainted with?
In very general, it's probably Facebook, Google, and LinkedIn. Every company will have a much more specific set of platforms where it makes sense to focus. You might want to advertise on things like Quora, maybe even Twitter ads work for you.
What is it that's working for you right now, if I were to ask you that?
We mainly get leads from word of mouth first, so that's making our customers happy, basically. Then a lot of it comes through review sites and Google as well. Advertising on Google is quite expensive, so we rather focus on being visible in these search results that appear.
Sure.
Which is review sites and all kinds of blogs and stuff. And then third, SEO is something that's really, really growing for us. It takes a while as an investment, just like word of mouth from customers. It's not something that happens overnight. But we write all kinds of articles around specific things that our software solves, and then people look for instance, they look for how do I send a mass email, and then they find an article from us and we explain how you do it, and it ends up to be with Salesflare obviously at some point, but then people are like, oh, I should try this thing, and then they sign up for a trial, they use it, and in the end they subscribe.
So, are you employing any micro-influencers right now to sort of drive, let's say, traffic, or using them in a way to sort of influence customers for you?
We have an affiliate program, and we sometimes do webinars together with people and things like that. We also have these blog posts that I talked about where we